Good afternoon, students. This is MC Sir. Today we have to discussing one small concept: refraction of light through curved surface. Refraction of light through curved surface. So in last class, we discussed that rules for refraction of light through curved surface. So once again, we have to recall the points. After that, we can go to that concept. First one, we want to discussing about that laws of refraction. Laws of refraction. First law of refraction. First law of refraction. If ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, then refracted ray bends towards normal. Bends towards normal. What is the reason? Here we consider that denser optical medium. Denser optical medium can affecting that path of incident ray. Because of that reason, that refracted ray bends towards normal. So consider that medium one, next one, medium two, medium one and medium two. Here we have to identify that speed of light in first medium C, speed of light in second medium B. Okay, here C greater than V. Here C greater than V. Speed of light in rarer optical medium. Speed of light in rarer optical medium is more than to speed of light in a denser optical medium. Understood? So have to identify this point. Angle of incidence. We have to calculate that angle of incidence with respect to reference. In this condition, reference is normal. Normal N1, N2. Both the normals we have to represent in two mediums. These two normals we have to draw from point of incidence in rarer optical medium and denser optical medium. Just identify this simple point. Next, we have to consider the direction of light ray. We have to consider the direction of light ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Just identify this condition. We have to consider the direction of light ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. XY represents refracting surface. Draw that normal. Normal is always perpendicular to refracting surface N1 and N2. What is the direction of light ray? What is the direction of light ray? Direction of light ray we have to represent from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Here, refracted ray bends away from normal. Bends away from normal. What is the reason? Here, consider that optical medium is low density optical medium. So here, rarer optical medium. Rarer optical medium. It represents denser optical medium. Denser optical medium. Now we have to calculate that angle of refraction, angle of incidence. Angle of incidence, angle between incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. Angle of incidence we have to represent angle I. Angle of refraction, angle between refracted ray and normal is called as angle of refraction. Angle of refraction we have to represent angle of incidence we have to represent angle I. Here we have to consider that speed of light in water medium. Speed of light in water medium we have to consider V1. Speed of light in the rarer medium, rarer nothing but air medium V2. Okay, here V2 greater than V1. V2 greater than V1. Angle of incidence less than angle of refraction. Angle of incidence less than angle of refraction. Here also we have to find out that angle of incidence, angle I. Angle I we have to consider between incident ray and normal. Angle I. Angle between refracted ray and normal is called as angle of refraction. Angle I is always greater than, in this condition, always greater than to angle of refraction. These points are very, very important points in first law of refraction. First law of refraction. If ray of light is traveling from one optical medium to another optical medium, then its direction changes. Okay, it is called as first law of refraction. Here, angle of incidence more than to angle of refraction. And which condition means Here consider the direction of incident ray from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. In second condition, we have to identify, here consider the direction of light ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Then we have to identify that angle of incidence is always more than the angle of refraction. These points are very, very important, sir. But what about second law of refraction? Second law of refraction, we have to identify incident ray and refracted ray normal. Incident ray, refracted ray, normal lies at a point on a refracting surface. Lies at a point on a refracting surface. Okay, it is second law of refraction. Generally, second law of refraction can explaining with the help of Snell's law. Okay, so that points also in last class we discussed. What is Snell's law? What is Snell's law? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is called as a Snell's law. Here, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence divided by sine of angle of refraction is always constant. That constant value we have to represent refractive index. It's called as refractive index 1 u2. So these points we discussed in the last class. Now we have to discussing about that rules for image formed by rules for refraction through curved surface. Rules for refraction through curved surface. Now we want to discuss that points. So you have to carefully we have to identify that points on the board. Rules. Rule 1. No. పాటలు పాడింది చాలే చూడు వాళ్ళ పాడతాడు పాటల రూల్ 1. Okay, rule 1. Now we have to consider first concave curved surface or convex curved surface. So first we have to consider convex curved surface. Just identify this surface, convex curved surface. And 4 conditions generally we have to identify these curved surfaces. Okay, condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, condition 4 conditions we have to represent that curved surface. Okay, so here curved surface can separate the two mediums. So one medium N1, another optical medium N2. N1, N2. Here, what is the role of refracting surface? The role of refracting surface can separate the two mediums. So one medium we have to consider N1, another medium we have to consider N2. Okay, here N1 represents rarer optical medium, N2 represents denser optical medium. N2 represents denser optical medium. Now we have to find out that center of curvature for this curved surface. Center of curvature for curved surface we have to consider inside the medium. Have to consider inside that medium. So this point is virtual point. It's not a real point. Okay, that virtual point we have to consider inside a glass medium. Next one, we have to imagine one reference line. So first one, we can identify that midpoint of this curved surface. Midpoint of this curved surface P. Draw one reference line. This reference line is passing through pole and center of curvature. This reference line is passing through pole and center of curvature. Just identify the straight line, pole and center of curvature. Rule 1. First, we have to identify the diagrams. Next, I can explain that rules. Here, incident ray. Here, incident ray parallel to principal axis. Here, incident ray parallel to principal axis. Same as it is, we have to draw the diagram. Pole and center of curvature C. pole and center of curvature C. Okay, incident ray P and C. The next one, we have to consider the direction of incident ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Here, rarer optical medium to denser optical. So identify the two incident rays. Incident ray. Here also we have to represent incident ray. Okay, now we have to represent this reference line. Reference line is passing through pole and center of curvature. Okay, pole and center of curvature. Center of curvature, generally we have to consider inside this medium. Now imagine that incident ray. Incident ray is perpendicular to refracting surface. What is that direction? Incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to refracting surface. Okay, another ray also we have to consider. So here also we can represent it is also an incident ray. This incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to refracting surface. One more light ray we have to consider. This light ray is perpendicular to the curved surface. Okay, incident ray perpendicular to the curved surface, which makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Okay, so identify that three incident ray. This three incident ray direction from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. You have to identify this rule. Rule 3. Rule 3. And next, rule 4 we have to identify. Here, center of curvature we have to consider inside of convex curved surface. Now we have to imagine that reference line. Reference line is passing through pole and center of curvature. Pole and center of curvature. Now we can consider that direction of incident ray. Direction of incident ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Which direction? Denser to rarer optical medium. Okay, represent the direction of incident ray. Incident ray direction from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. These four rules related to convex curved surface. These four rules related to convex curved surface. Just identify that rule 1. Here, rule 1. A ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Now, first, we want to identify that normal in this diagram. Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface. Yes, sir? We have to represent that normal. Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface. This normal we have to represent from point of incidence. From point of incidence. Represents it is normal. Represents it is normal. This normal we have to draw in denser optical medium. Draw that normal. In denser optical medium, normal is passing through center of curvature. Normal is passing through center of curvature. Here N1, here we have to represent N2. Understood? Now consider the direction of light ray from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Then light ray bends towards normal. What is the direction of refracted ray in this condition? Just we have to represent the direction of refracted ray. Direction of refracted ray bends towards normal. Understood? Okay. Which condition I explained? First law of refraction. Here, direction of light ray from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Then light ray bends towards normal. Which light ray? Refracted light ray. Refracted light ray bends towards normal. Next, second condition you have to identify. Here we have to consider the direction of light ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Then we have to represent one normal. Normal is always perpendicular to point of incidence. Just identify. This normal is passing through center of curvature N1. Normal N1. We have to identify this one normal. Normal. Next, we have to represent that normal in rarer optical medium. Okay, normal is always a perpendicular to the curved surface and it is passing through center of curvature. Just identify this normal. Now, what is the condition? If ray of light is traveling from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium, then refracted ray bends away from the normal. What is the reason? We consider that the medium is low density optical. Then we have to represent that refracted ray bends away from normal. Bends away from normal. Here, find out that angle of incidence. Here, find out that angle of refraction. Angle of refraction greater than angle of incidence. Angle of refraction greater than angle of incidence. Here, velocity of light in a rarer optical medium more than the velocity of light in a denser optical medium. So that we have to consider velocity of light V1, velocity of light in denser optical medium V2. Here V2 greater than V1. V2 greater than V1. This condition also we have to compare that angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Angle of incidence we can calculate between incident ray and normal. Angle of incidence, angle I. Angle of refraction, how much? Angle of refraction with respect to normal direction we have to represent angle or in clockwise direction. Here angle I greater than angle R. Speed of light in rarer optical medium is more than the speed of light in denser optical medium. Represents this point. Speed of light C greater than V. C greater than V. C represents speed of light in air medium. So V represents speed of light in a dense orbit. C greater than V. Okay, so it represents rule 1. It represents rule 2. Rule 1 and rule 2. Next one, rule 3. Rule 3, this point I explained in special condition. What is that special condition? Here just identify refracting surface X, Y. Refracting surface X, Y. Now this surface separate the two optical mediums. One optical medium, rarer optical medium. Another one, denser optical medium. Now we have to consider that incident ray. Now we have to consider that incident ray direction perpendicular to the refracting surface. Perpendicular to the refracting surface. What is the angle here? 90 degrees. What is the angle? 90 degrees. Angle of incidence, how much? The glancing angle 90 degrees, but angle of incidence how much? Angle of incidence you can calculate with respect to normal. Angle of incidence value equal to 0 degree. But what about angle of refraction? Angle of refraction is also 0. What is the reason? This medium cannot affecting the path of light. It cannot affecting the path of light. It can affecting the speed of light, but it cannot affecting that path of light. Okay, you have to identify this point. So this path we have to consider in straight line path in denser optical medium. Angle of incidence equal to 0, angle of refraction equal to 0. Then refracted ray cannot deviate. Refracted ray cannot deviate. We have to identify this condition. Here also, here incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface in 3 conditions. Then refracted ray cannot deviate in denser optical medium. So we have to identify that condition. Refracted ray is passing through center of curvature. Refracted ray is passing through center of curvature in 3 conditions. Okay, incident ray perpendicular to the curved surface, then refracted ray cannot deviate in denser optical medium. It is following the path is actual path of incident ray. This point is very, very important point. Next, rule 4. In rule 4, we consider the direction of light ray along the principal axis. But direction from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. What is the angle between curved surface and incident ray? 90 degrees. What is the angle? 90 degrees. Then refracted ray cannot deviate in rarer optical medium. Its direction, actual path of incident ray. We have to represent these light rays from normal. Light rays from normal. Okay, we have to identify this condition. Okay, we have to draw that light rays from normal. This all incident rays makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Then refracted ray does not change its direction. So its direction generally we have to represent in straight line path. Refracted ray direction generally we have to represent in a actual path of incident ray direction. Okay, these all are 4 rules. The help of these 4 rules, we have to identify that image formation point on principal axis. Image formation point on a principal axis. During draw the image, we have to consider 2 marginal rays. How many marginal rays? 2 marginal rays required for us. The 2 marginal rays can decide that the image formation point inside denser medium and the outside medium of a curved surface. Okay, so we have to note down these 4 rules. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4. Okay, students. Next, we have to discussing about that concept, rules for concave curved surface. Rules for concave curved surface. Rules for concave curved surface. Concave curved surface. Rules for concave curved surface. Now imagine that concave curved surface. Imagine so now in 4 condition, we have to apply that laws of refraction. How many condition? 4 conditions. In 4 condition, we have to apply that laws of refraction. Okay, first condition 1. Condition 1. If ray of light parallel to principal axis. Now we have to draw that principal axis. Here, pole of midpoint of this curved surface, we have to represent pole. And where is the center of curvature? Inside the denser optical medium or outside this medium? Outside this curved medium, we have to consider that as center of curvature. So we have to imagine that center of curvature for this concave curved surface. So outside, so center of curvature is C. Center of curvature is C. Now we have to draw that principal axis. Principal axis is passing through center of curvature and pole. Okay, it is acts like one reference line. Now what is the direction of incident ray? Direction of incident ray parallel to principal axis. Direction of incident ray parallel to principal axis. We have to identify this condition. Next, we can discussing about that refracted ray direction. Next, we have to identify that refracted ray direction. Okay, for this diagram, we have to represent the center of curvature and pole. Pole, midpoint of this concave curved surface is called as pole. Center of curvature, we have to consider outside. This point is real point. Okay, we have to capture this point on screen. Okay, center of curvature, we have to consider outside of concave curved surface. Draw imaginary line. This imaginary line is passing through center of curvature and pole. This imaginary line is passing through center of curvature and pole. It is principal axis. Okay, next, have to consider that direction of incident ray. Direction of incident ray. Direction of incident ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Which medium? Denser to rarer optical medium direction. We consider that incident ray. It represents incident ray. And it represents incident ray. Okay, in second condition. In second condition, we have to represent that center of curvature and midpoint. Midpoint of that curved surface is called as pole. Draw one reference line. That reference line is passing through center of curvature and the pole of concave curved surface. Okay, now we have to consider that incident ray direction from from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. From rarer to denser. From rarer to denser. Here, incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Here, incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Okay, students, just identify this point. So we have to represent from center of curvature. Here, another two incident rays, we have to represent from center of curvature. What is the direction of refracted ray in denser optical medium? You have to represent. Next one, next we have to identify this condition. Now we have to consider that. Now we have to consider that direction of incident ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Here, incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. What is the direction? Denser to rarer optical medium. Center of curvature we have to represent C. Understood? Now just identify this point. We have to consider another two light rays. This is another light ray and it is also another light ray. So you have to find out that refracted ray direction in rarer optical medium. In rarer optical medium, we have to find out that refracted ray direction. So, okay, it is a given conditions. So it is, we have to consider it is first rule, it represents second rule, it represents third rule, it represents fourth rule. Okay, with the help of rules, we have to find out that image formed by convex curved surface and concave curved surface. Now tell me the direction of refracted ray. Tell me that direction of refracted ray. What is the direction of incident ray? From rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Draw normal first. What is the direction of normal? Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface. In which medium we consider? Rarer optical medium. In denser optical medium, we have to identify this normal. N1, N2, N1, N2. If ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, then light ray deviates its direction. Okay, so here rarer to denser, that light ray bends towards normal or bends away from normal. Bends towards normal. Refracted ray bends towards normal. Means this refracted ray appear from one common point on principal axis. That refracted ray appear from one common point on principal axis. This point we have to consider outside denser medium. Outside denser medium. This image formation point This point we have to consider image formation point on principal axis. This point we have to consider in which medium? Rarer optical medium. Rarer optical medium. Understood? This image formation point we have to consider in rarer optical medium. This image formation point we can consider on a principal axis. This image is also called as real image. This image is also called as real image. Real image. Very important points. Okay, so this image formed in rarer optical medium. This image is real image. This image is real image. Real image means we have to capture that image on screen. Okay, students. Next one. Next, we have to consider that direction of incident ray from dense or optical medium to rarer optical medium. Dense or optical medium to rarer optical medium. First, we have to represent normal. Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface. In which medium we consider? Rarer optical medium. Draw that another normal in denser optical medium. What is the direction of normal? Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface. It represents normal to N2. It represents N1, it represents N2. What is the direction of incident ray? Direction of incident ray from denser to rarer. Then refracted ray bends away from the normal. Bends away from the normal. So what is the direction of refracted ray? Bends away from the normal. Do you identify this point? So it represents incident ray. What is the refracted ray? Bends away from the normal. Here, angle of incidence we have to identify, angle of refraction. Angle of refraction more than 2 angle of incidence. Now, this refracted ray appear from one common point in denser optical medium. Appear from one common point on denser optical medium. So that common point we appear from that point we have to represent image formation point. Image formation point. That image formation point we consider on principal axis. Principal axis. Okay, now have you identified this point? Virtual point. Okay, here refracted ray appear from this point. Okay, this point is also called image formation point. That image is virtual image. Virtual image. We have to identify. Okay, students, do you have any doubt? No doubt. Okay, it's rule 1, rule 2 for concave curved surface. And rule 3 and rule 4 we have to find out. Here, direction of incident ray perpendicular to the curved surface means that light rays following the path along normal, then refracted ray cannot deviate its actual path of incident ray direction. Then we have to represent that direction of refracted ray. Understood? Okay, so here refracted ray cannot deviate its actual path of incident ray. So it represents incident ray. It represents incident ray. But what is the direction of refracted ray? What is the direction of refracted ray? Direction of refracted ray, actual path of incident ray. Okay, so we have to represent the direction of refracted ray along the direction of incident ray direction. Along the direction of incident ray direction. Here also we have to represent refracted ray. Okay, students. And here also we have to identify refracted ray direction. Refracted ray direction. Okay, incident ray direction and refracted ray direction almost same. Understood? So this condition is possible with the angle of incident, sorry, here incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Then refracted ray can follow incident ray direction. Understood? Next, we have to discussing about that rule 4. Next, we have to discussing about that rule 4. Here, just identify represents incident ray. Here also incident ray. Here also incident ray. Here, incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to north. What is that angle? 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Then refracted ray cannot deviate. It can follow the path. Incident ray direction. Okay, just identify what is the direction of incident ray? Straight line path. We have to represent that refracted ray direction along incident ray direction. Here also incident ray direction. Here also we have to represent incident ray direction. It represents center of curvature. It represents center of curvature. All refracted rays is passing through center of curvature. So these 4 rules, so we have to note down. These 4 rules are very, very important. Okay, students, note down. Rules for concave curved surface. Rules for concave curved surface. Okay. Now, we want to derive one formula for concave curved surface and convex curved surface. Okay, we have to follow that rules and we have to follow that sign convention. We have to follow that sign convention. Okay, so first we have to draw that image for concave curved surface. So here derivation for 1 U2 by N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 divided by radius of curvature. We have to derive this formula. This formula is used to, so relation between V, U, R and refractive index of first medium and second medium. Okay, we have to derive this formula for concave curved surface and convex curved surface. Both the curved surface is having same formula. Okay, so now we have to imagine one curved surface. Now this surface is concave curved surface. This surface is one concave curved. Sorry. This surface is one convex curved surface. Convex curved surface. Okay, for concave curved surface, for convex curved surface, we are getting the formula is same. Don't forget. Okay, because of that reason, first we have to consider convex curved surface. Convex curved surface can separate two optical mediums. How many optical mediums we consider? Two optical mediums. Okay, one optical medium, rarer optical medium. Rarer optical medium we have to represent air medium. What is the refractive index? N1. Refractive index N1. Another optical medium we have to represent, it is N2. It is N2. Glass medium. What is the medium? Glass medium. Air medium and glass medium we have to consider. Midpoint of this curved surface. Midpoint of this curved surface is pole. Midpoint of this curved surface, pole. Now we have to find out that center for the curved surface. Center for the curved surface is called as center of curvature. Center for the curved surface is called as center of curvature. Now we have to draw one imaginary line is passing through pole and center of curvature. Now we have to imagine that reference line. That reference line is passing through pole under center of curvature. Pole under center of curvature. Okay, this imaginary line is called as principal axis. Okay, do we have any doubt? Principal axis. Okay, midpoint of this curved surface is called as pole, and center for this curved surface is called as center of curvature. Pole and center of curvature we can consider on a principal axis. Now we have to consider position of an object. Position of an object on principal axis. Where is the position of an object? We have to consider that position of an object on principal axis. Understood? Just identify this point. N1. Okay, air medium. Okay, position of an object we have to consider on a principal axis. How many number of marginal incidence ray required for us? Two marginal incident ray required for us. Draw that image formation point. So we have to identify that image formation point. We required two marginal incident ray. Yes or no? Two marginal incident rays. Now, first we have to represent one marginal incident ray. One marginal incident ray. This marginal incident ray perpendicular to refracting surface. Perpendicular to refracting surface. Another marginal incident ray. Okay, another marginal incident ray we have to identify. Okay, it makes at an angle with respect to curved surface. Makes at an angle with respect to curved surface. Now we have to follow that laws of refractions. I have to follow that laws of refraction. In the first condition, incident ray is following the path is actual path of incident ray is following the path is principal axis. Principal axis, and it is following the path along the normal. After refraction, refracted ray cannot deviate its direction. Okay, it does not deviate its direction. Because of that reason, we have to consider the direction of refracted ray in straight line path. Which path? Straight line path. It is following the path is incident ray direction. Okay, have you understood? So we have to identify the direction of refracted ray along incident ray direction. Next, we have to find out that direction of refracted ray in second condition. Draw normal. Normal is always perpendicular to the curved surface in two optical mediums. One optical medium, air medium, another optical medium, glass medium. Now we have to identify that angle of incidence. Angle between incident ray and normal. Angle between incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. Okay, students, angle between incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. Then here represent the direction of incident ray from a rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. If any ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, then refracted ray bends towards normal. So now we have to represent that direction of refracted ray bends towards normal. Understood? Here, these two refracted rays intersect one common point inside lens or optical medium. This intersection point we have to represent image formation point. This intersection point we have to represent image formation point. Okay, this image is virtual image. This image is virtual image. We have to identify this point. And now we have to derive that formula. First, we can identify that angles. Here, incident ray makes alpha angle with respect to principal axis. Here, incident ray makes alpha angle with respect to principal axis. Next one, normal makes beta angle with respect to principal axis. Okay, which one? Beta angle. And next one, here we have to identify gamma angle. Here, refracted ray makes gamma angle with respect to principal axis. Gamma. Just identify, it is not visible. Beta, symbolic representation of beta. Okay, symbolic representation of gamma. Okay, of beta, gamma. Understood? Okay, so we have to consider that three angles with respect to principal axis. Next, we have to find out angle of refraction. We have to find out angle of refraction, angle between refracted ray and the normal. Angle R. Angle R. Total, we have to consider how many angles? Angle alpha, angle I, angle beta, angle gamma, angle R. Understood? So this is the complete diagram. Okay, first we have to draw the diagram, identify that angles with respect to normal, with respect to principal axis. Angle of incidence we have to calculate with respect to normal. Angle of refraction is also calculated with respect to normal. But angle alpha, angle beta, angle gamma, we have to calculate with respect to principal axis. Okay, reference is very, very important. Understood? Now, we have to consider it represents incident point on refracting surface. Yes or no? Okay, so refracting concave convex curved surface. We have to draw one perpendicular line. We have to draw one perpendicular line from M to principal axis. It represents N. Represents N. In this diagram, how many right angle triangles are there? We have to identify. How many right angle triangles are there? Here, ONM, one right angle triangle. INM, another right angle triangle. CNM, one more right angle triangle. Total, we have to consider three right angle triangles. How many right angle triangles? Three right angle triangles. First, we have to identify right angle triangles in this diagram. First, right angle triangle. Okay, right angle means 90 degrees. One angle must be 90 degrees. So these three triangles, which side is common means opposite side is common. Which side is common? Opposite side is common. Represents that right angle triangle ONM. ONM, one right angle triangle. ONM, one right angle triangle. Represents tan alpha equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side by adjacent side. Right? Mn divided by adjacent side value NO. Mn divided by NO. Mn divided by NO. The next one, tan beta. Another right angle triangle we have to identify. CNM. CNM. Just identify CNM. Another right angle triangle. Tan beta. Tan beta equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. Opposite side equal to Mn. Adjacent side value equal to NC. Right? Opposite side Mn divided by adjacent side NC. And next right angle triangle, another right angle triangle, INM. INM. Just identify another right angle triangle, INM. Tan gamma equal to mn by adjacent side value ni, adjacent side value ni. Just identify this point. So we can easy to calculate tan alpha, tan beta, or tan gamma with the help of that three triangles. You identify this point. Next, we have to consider these angles all are small angles. Which angles? Three angles: alpha angle, beta angle, gamma angle. Three angles are small angles. How to get that small angles? Here, position of incident point is near to the principal axis. It nears to the principal axis, then all angles are almost small angles. For small angles, trigonometric functions equal to theta, equal to its angles. Yes or no? So here, tan alpha approximate to alpha, tan beta approximate to beta, tan gamma approximate to gamma. Yes or no? Just identify this point. Okay, here alpha equal to mn divided by no. Mn divided by no. Here beta equal to mn divided by nc. Mn divided by nc. Next one, gamma equal to mn divided by ni. Mn divided by ni. So this condition only applicable for small angles. Tan alpha approximated to alpha. Okay, so we have to write this point for small angles. For small angle. For small angle, we have to represent this condition. Alpha equal to mn by ny, beta equal to mn by nc, gamma equal to mn by ni. This is very, very important point. Next, we have to find out that object distance, radius of curvature, and image distance. Okay, with the help of sign convention rules. The help of sign convention rules. Everyone concentrate on these points, very, very important points. Okay, just identify. We have to find out object distance. We have to find out object distance. First, we have to consider that initial point is P. Here, reference point is 4. Reference point 4. From this point, we have to calculate object distance. From this point, we have to calculate radius of curvature. From this point, we have to calculate image distance. Which is the reference point? Pole is the reference point. In which direction? Horizontal direction. Okay, in horizontal direction, we want to calculate any distance. We require a reference point. What is the reference point? Pole is the reference point. Pole is the reference point. Just find out that object distance from pole to object. What is the object distance? PO. Yes or no? Here identify pole to object. PO bar. Its direction opposite to incident ray direction. Yes or no? Your direction of this distance opposite to incident ray direction. Then we have to give sign convention for opposite direction is minus u. Understood? This point is very important point. Okay, next one, we have to find out that image distance. So here you are calculating that distance direction from pole to image formation point. From pole to image formation point, Pi bar. Pi bar equal to plus V. What is the reason? You are calculating the direction of distance along the incident ray direction. Incident ray direction, you are calculating the distance direction is same. Then we have to give sign convention is plus. Okay, it represents one sign convention rule. In same direction, we have to represent positive. For opposite direction, we have to represent minus. Understood? Next one, you have to find out that radius of curvature. Find that radius of curvature from pole to center of curvature. PC bar equal to, what is the direction? Direction of calculating distance along the direction of incident ray. Then we have to give the sign convention plus or. Plus or. Yes or no? We have to identify this point. Sign convention is also very important. For same direction, here incident ray direction, you are calculating the distance direction is same, then sign convention for this distance is positive. Understood? Next one. Next one, in mathematics, we have to use one rule. Exterior angle equal to sum of opposite internal angles. Exterior angle equal to sum of opposite internal angles. This point mathematics are explained for you. Okay, one time you have to observe it is one triangle. Now in this condition, which one is exterior angle? It represents exterior angle. Theta 3 represents theta 3. Sum of opposite interior angle in triangle. So we have to identify what are that internal angles, theta 2 and theta 1. Okay, theta 3 equal to sum of opposite internal angles of triangles. So theta 1 plus theta 2. Understood? This condition is very important for explaining that image form and explaining that formula derivation. Yes, so theta 3 equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. Understood, students? Exterior angle equal to sum of opposite internal angles of triangles. You have to imagine that condition. In this condition, what are the angles or exterior angles? Here, angle I is one exterior angle for OMC triangle. Here, OMC, and it means we have to just identify this line, straight line. Okay, so here angle I one exterior angle. Angle beta represents another exterior angle. Okay, two exterior angle generally we have to identify in this diagram. So identify that exterior angle angle I. Angle I equal to, so sum of opposite internal angles of triangle. What triangle we consider? OMC. We have to identify triangle OMC. Triangle OMC, we have to find out that sum of opposite internal angles, angle alpha plus angle beta. Angle alpha plus angle beta, it represents equation number 1. 2, we have to represent equation number 2. Okay, next one. Next, we have to find out another exterior angle. So beta. Here beta represents another exterior angle. And here, which triangle we have to consider for exterior angle? MCI. Where we have to identify this triangle MCI. MCI, exterior angle beta equal to sum of opposite internal angles. What are that internal angles? Angle or one angle? Angle gamma is another angle. Okay, right here, angle beta equal to angle R plus angle gamma. Angle gamma. But we want to find out this angle R back. Angle R equal to angle gamma minus angle beta. Angle gamma minus angle beta. It represents equation number 3. Equation number 3. Next, we have to discuss the Snell's law. What is Snell's law? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. Okay, that constant value represents a refractive index. Now we have to write that Snell's law. Formula for Snell's law. Formula for Snell's law. Okay, what is the Snell's law? So here Snell's law, we have to write sin I by sin R, sin I by sin R equal to, like that we have to write mu1, sorry, n1 sin I equal to n2 sin R, n2 sin R. Now we have to consider this angle of incidence, angle of refraction is small angles. Sin function here, sin I value approximate to equal to I. We have to write n1 I equal to n2 R. For small angles, this condition is applicable. For small angles, this condition is applicable. Understood? Okay, so n1 sin I equal to n2 sin R. Then we have to identify n1 I equal to n2 R. For small angles, this condition is applicable. Now substitute this value. Okay, n1 equal to sorry, n1 I value equal to angle alpha plus angle beta. Angle alpha plus angle beta. Okay, that is equal to n2 into angle R value. Angle R value equal to angle gamma minus angle beta. Angle gamma minus angle beta. Angle gamma minus angle beta. Okay, so this is a one condition. N1 of angle alpha plus angle beta, that is equal to n2 of angle gamma minus angle beta. Note down these points. Next we have to continue that derivation. Okay, students. Okay, now just identify, students, angle alpha. Angle alpha equal to mn by no. Mn by no. Here no value approximated to PO. What is the PO value? Minus U. PO value equal to minus U. So we have to write these conditions. N1 alpha value mn divided by minus U. Mn divided by minus U plus next one beta value, beta equal to mn by nc. Mn by nc. Nc value you have to just identify, you have to calculate the distance from n to c equal to p to c. For small angles, so that distance, radius of curvature equal to nc. What is the distance? PC approximate to nc. The distance of PC approximate to nc distance. Here PC value equal to plus r. PC value equal to plus r. So here you have to find out that PC value you have to represent plus r. Understood? Okay, so plus r. Next, now we have to find out that image distance. Image distance we have to calculate from pole to image formation point. This Pi value equal to Ni. Here gamma, what is the gamma value? Ni value equal to Pi. Yes or no? We have to substitute that condition. Just listen. Mn by minus U plus Mn by R, that is equal to N2. Here angle gamma. Here Mn by Ni. Ni value equal to Pi. Ni value equal to Pi. Right here. Mn divided by Pi value equal to plus V. Just identify this point, plus V. Next one, plus minus, plus or minus gamma value how much? Mn by nc. Mn by nc. Mn value as it is we have to write Mn divided by nc value. Nc value equal to Pc. Nc value equal to Pc. Pc equal to radius of curvature. Completed. Now we have to find out that formula. It's enough, this information. Okay, the first information enough. Now we have to common this Mn left hand side and right hand side. Mn you have to common. Now n1 by minus u plus n1 by capital R equal to n2 here mn n2 by v minus n1 by u. Okay, both sides we have to cancel this mn values. The next one n1 by minus u. Okay, here plus n2 by v. Come to left hand side. We have to write plus here plus 1. Sorry, man, here r only. N2 by r. Okay, na? Understood? Do you have any doubt? Now here n1 by r to go to that side. Sign convention missed. Angle gamma minus angle beta. Note down these points first. Here just observe here angle gamma minus angle beta, it's mistake only. Angle beta minus angle gamma is the correct. Angle r equal to angle beta minus angle gamma. That's only our mistake. We have to change it. Okay, angle beta minus angle gamma. Here also we have to write mn by r, mn by r by mn by v. Here mn by r. So v. Understood? Okay, now you have to identify minus n2 by v, come to left hand side, plus n2 by v equal to here n2 by r, n2 by r, here plus n1 by r, come to right hand side, minus n1 by r. Right here n2 by v minus n1 by u equal to n2 minus n1 divided by r. This is the formula for concave curved surface. This is the formula for a concave curved surface. N2 by v minus n1 by u equal to n2 minus n1 by r. So don't forget here n1 represents refractive index of rarer optical medium. N2 represents refractive index of denser optical medium. Okay, v represents image distance, u represents object distance, or represents radius of curvature. Okay, students. Okay, it is a very lengthy derivation. So each and every point we have to discuss detailed information. Otherwise, it is difficult to. Okay, students, note down these points. This formula is related to concave and convex curved surface. Both the curved surfaces we have to use same formula, n2 by v minus n1 by u, that is equal to n2 minus n1 by r. Okay, students. So tomorrow we have to discuss some example problem related to this formula. Okay. So today you have to practice this derivation. Okay. Don't forget. I will observe that homework. It's a homework for you. This homework compulsory you have to send through WhatsApp. Don't forget.